Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and again this is another one of my collage sheets. Yeah, so I'm playing in the large Dylusions journal and I'm doing a double page spread this time. So I'm starting off with some mineral. I'm just painting that on at the top of the page. The page has got some white gesso on to start off with as well. So my brush was a little bit damp, and that really just helps to kind of pull the paint around a bit, because I wanted a good covering of paint on the background. Yeah, so having that damp brush just enables that paint to move around a little bit more easily. So once I've got that mineral colour on, it's a lovely grey, then I'm going in with heather, just pulling that down to the bottom of the page and blending the area where the two colours meet. Using these two colours on this journal page made me think that I'm going to have to use them again, because they are so pretty together. So I'm going in with a block colour all over my page just to give that background some initial colour. Because of the collage images, they're quite busy, and so keeping the background quite simple is a good way to help the images really pop off the page. So once I've done that, given it a really good dry, then I'm using my Wonky Heart stencil from Funky Fossil that I designed, and I've just mixed a little bit of blackberry with a lot of mineral just to make a slightly darker purple, but it's still quite pastel-y, I guess, a little bit darker than what's on the page already. And I'm just adding some hearts onto my background. So just to break up that block colour, give a little bit of interest, but it's not too busy, not too much detail going on there, because obviously I want those collage images to be the focal point of the page. And then I just got a little bit of white, and using the paint that was on my blending tool already, just added some more hearts onto there. Now they don't show up brilliantly well on camera here, but you could actually see them on the page, but they are quite subtle, which is the look I was going for. So then I've cut out all these images. These are from the Be Fierce collage set, where you get this image, a sheet of images that you can see here, plus a background page that's been done for you, which you, if you want, you can just print out and stick straight into your journal. So here again, just doing as you've seen me do before, spending a bit of time just arranging these on the page, just to make sure that I've got them where I want them to be, creating almost a border around my page again. I'm also using some of my collage sheets that were from Funky Fossil that I designed, and just adding some more pieces into here. So this sheet has got quite a monochrome feel to it, really. It's like blacks and whites and greys. And I knew that my collage sheets from Funky Fossil would work really well with this page, because they are monochrome black and white sheets too. So I'm just cutting out some pieces from here just to add onto my page to help pull that border all the way round, as far as I can make it reach, and just to add some more details, kind of in keeping with what's already there. Okay, so I kind of got to a point where I was mostly happy. I decided I wanted to make the figure a little bit bigger and bolder on my page. So I'm just adding a little bit of extra body using my collage, one of my collage sheets here, and that's just going to be stuck on like that, as you can see. And then I'm using my glue stick, and I'm just working my way around the page and sticking all the different pieces in place. So you can see I'm just using a piece of card underneath, so that I'm not getting glue onto my page. I have done that before, and then you end up ruining your page because you've got blobs of glue where it's overlapped from the image that you've been gluing. So would recommend having something down to glue onto when you are applying the glue to your images. Okay, so once they're all stuck in place, I then felt there were a couple of places that could just do with a little bit more. So just from this sheet that's in my collage sheets from Funky Fossil, I'm just selecting a few little pieces and adding a few more details onto my page. And then I decided I would paint a speech bubble. So I've gone for black for this because there is black on my page already, and I felt it would be quite bold, but then it meant I could do the writing in white. So just again, working on thinking about contrast on the page too. So yeah, look, I could really not have had a smaller brush, could I, to paint this? As I was painting it in, I was thinking, this is ridiculous. Why did I not pick a bigger brush to do this? So sticking with it and carrying on painting with my teeny tiny brush, I filled in the speech bubble. Then I just made it a little bit bigger in one or two places. And it kind of works quite well, I felt, with all the little black elements, like what the hat that's on the lady's head and the little black elements in the collage images too around the edge of the page. So yeah, that contrast is important, and as Dina calls it, that value change. So it's just thinking about, you know, if it's looking a bit bland, or you think something's missing, think about, you know, do you need to add a bit of black, or do you need to add some white just to help it with contrast? Another great way to do that is to add some splatters onto your page too. Okay, so once I've got that painted in, gave it a really good dry, and then I'm going in with my Posca pen and I'm writing in my quote. Okay, so I've also gone over the letters again with my pen, but then I'm also just going in and adding a little line on the end of any line on the letters. And it just creates an interesting font style. It's a really simple thing to do, and I think it's quite an effective way to alter up your lettering a little bit. So I've done that, and then I've used a Posca pen. No, I haven't. I used a Signo Uniball in white, and I just outlined the speech bubble too. So here I've just created a little mask for the card that I've cut out of card to cover over the collage elements on the edge of my page. This is my heartfelt stamp from Funky Fossil that I designed, and I'm just stamping it here using some purple. Didn't quite put enough ink on the stamp because it didn't stamp brilliantly, but well enough that you could see it a little bit in the background. So then I decided I would take it off the acrylic block, and then I could give it a really good press down. That worked much better. I have a feeling this little ink pad might be running out of ink a little bit. So I'm just then working my way around the page and just adding some little hearts here and there, just to break up some more areas of the background. You can see the more that I'm using it, the better the stamp is getting. Okay, so then I used my little dotty stamp from Funky Fossil as well, just to add some spots onto my page. And these just help to blend areas out, to just soften images too. And it's just creating another layer of interest. So using my Posca pen in purple, I'm just going in and filling any little circles in on the letters on the speech bubble. Again, that's just adding another layer of interest, and also just like getting a bit creative with your handwriting too. So then, because there was that big space on the right hand side, I felt it would be a great place to do a little bit more writing. So I found another quote that worked really well with my page, and using these lines, as you can see how I'm drawing those in pen, these are my guides for where my letters are going to go. So I'm kind of doing a mix of lowercase and uppercase letters, just mixing it up a bit. Again, that just creates that sort of interesting look, slightly quirky look, which I quite like. And I'm making my letters touch the top and bottom of the lines. Once I've finished writing it out once, I then go back in and add a little bit more depth onto one side of the letters, just to make them a bit bolder. That's a little technique that I like to use. It's quite a simple way to make your text that you're writing stand out a bit more from your page. So that's my final finished page. You can see it does kind of work quite well together with the boldness of the black speech bubble. So I hope you found some inspiration. If you want to grab hold of my collage sheets, you can find them on my website, artjournallove.com. I hope you found some inspiration in this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you soon.